Hello, everybody, and welcome to the midweek market update from Smack the Markets for the 30th of January. Now, this week is quite a news-heavy week for the markets. We've not only got a non-farm payroll week, but there's also been quite a lot of news out concerning the Great British Pound and the Brexit negotiations and the terms of that Brexit deal. So with all this news going on in the markets, it can sometimes make trading the markets rather sort of challenging. So let's go and take a look at how the markets that we discussed on Monday are faring and the sort of opportunities that we're keeping an eye on in the trading room. So first of all, if we come and have a look at gold. Now, from the Monday's update, we were looking for gold long north of the 11300 level. You can see the market's now moved on up to sort of 11320, and it's sort of broken out. I think the most important thing is that it's broken out of this range that we can see here on the daily time frame. So it's nicely sort of clear of that now. So the sort of things that we could see here, it's quite extended here, it's quite stretched. At some point when markets become quite stretched like this, we expect to see some sort of pullback to get some sort of kind of entry. And maybe at this moment in time, the 11300 level is now it's been acting as resistance, would act as support if the market were to retrace back into this sort of price point. And it quite a nice area here for new positions if the market sort of got back into that sort of area. Now, with all precious metals moving long as well, one of the other ones that we're keeping a close eye on here is copper. Copper being a bit of a lagger here compared to the other precious metals. But if we take a look at this on the daily chart, you can see that on the daily, the market has now come up and it's actually just breaking out of this range here, that this level here that the market's been found support and resistance at going back quite some time, going back into last year, in fact. So we've got the context of a long trend here sort of forming on copper. And above this level, this could sort of perhaps give us a move up towards the top end of this range on the daily. And that's a huge move on the lower time frames. So if we come down to the sort of lower time frames, you can see that we've got sort of good trend structure starting to form here on the mid time frames. On the lower time frames, again, coming down to the sort of intraday time frames, we can see that we've got good market geometry on these trends too. So again, looking for new long opportunities here on copper once the market, above that level there on the daily. Now let's have a look at the Dow Jones, the Dow Jones future. So what we were looking for this week was sort of continued sort of bullish action here on the US indices moving higher. Now, it's been quite a challenging week here with earnings. So Caterpillar earnings have disappointed the market. Some other earnings like Apple have supported the market. And we can see that the overall price hasn't sort of moved a great deal. So we're still sitting underneath this sort of 2463 area at the moment. Still like this level. It's still looking like the bulls are in charge of this market. And again, the market seems to be sort of pressing up against this sort of price point. So what I'm looking for again is at this moment in time, the indices are still looking bullish, but any break above this sort of 24 sort of 63 area up here could see us into a new sort of window, possibly for a move up here towards the sort of 24 sort of 90 area to the 25 area as well. And that's really sort of gets into that sort of territory and looking for that sort of area if we can get a little bit more bullish action here on the indices. Now, we were also looking on Monday, we were looking for sterling, Great British Pound against the dollar here to advance. We've had a bit of a pullback here. Now, again, this is the news, the fun that we've had coming out on this market has helped the market retrace, but it's actually retraced back into technical levels. So it's come back into this sort of nice level here on the daily, as we can see. The trend structure is still intact here on the daily, and good indicators at this moment in time. So at the moment, the trend structure is still looking strong here on this market. And again, if this continues, if we can continue to get sort of bullish news out, supportive news on sterling, then we could see another retest here of 132, and then beyond that up here to towards that 133 area too. Now, when we're looking at sterling, there are other markets related to sterling that I think are looking just a little bit cleaner than the dollar market. So if we come and have a look at Great British Pound against the Swissy, this trend here is starting to look much, much neater. And the Swissy being one of the weakest currencies at this moment in time as well. So any strength in the Great British Pound is going to see a sort of an easier move here against the Swissy too. So again, looking for continued strength in Great British Pound as long as these higher time frame trends are still staying intact. So that's some of the things that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.